Good evening, folks. Welcome to the United Stand. It is a special tonight. We weren't expecting to have anything out tonight. To be honest, we did the show on Sunday and we weren't expecting to be doing any sort of transfer activity. It was all rumours, but we have had breaking news tonight. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Anthony Martial is on his way to Seville. The deal and the ins and outs of the deal I'll get through in a minute. But guys, get your comments in. Are you gutted to see Martial go, especially after his cameo at Old Trafford on Saturday against West Ham? We was all hoping that maybe, Martial may have turned the corner. He had the conversation with Ranić. We know that happened, but now it seems he's out the door. He's on his way. I'm already seeing pictures of him in a Seville shirt. Negotiations have gone on. His agent, Lamboli, has been talking with Seville. Apparently the deal now is done and dusted. Let me know, guys. Let's get into what actually has gone down and what Fabrizio Romano, of course, being the man in the know, was the one that dropped this bombshell on everyone. And everyone's just coming to terms with it now. Anthony Martial set to join Seville from Manchester United. It is a done deal. Deal agreed between the clubs. Loan until the end of the season. Seville are going to cover his salary until June, as Manchester United wanted. So he's not gone. He's out now, but he's not gone. This is going to be interesting. I don't see this being the end of Anthony Martial, because let's look at it realistically. 6 months now, 4 months left of the season, pretty much. He's there till June. And that time, we obviously know that a new manager is going to come in as well. So, Martial, it is only a loan deal, guys. He's not completely gone. Although we're not going to see him for the rest of this season, which, after Saturday, a lot of people were probably a bit disheartened with the news that's come tonight, because he did have a massive impact in us winning the game. We all discussed it on Sunday. We all then said our piece on whether we think he would be going. I didn't see it personally. I said I thought he was going to stay. Next day, he's gone. I mean, that moved quick. That was very, very quick. Martial will be in Spain in the next hours with his agent, Lambole, to complete the agreement, undergo his medical, and sign the contract. No buy option. So he is still officially a Manchester United player. The headlines will read, he's gone. The headlines will read, Martial is joining Seville. But break it down, people. He's still a Manchester United player. Come June, he will be back in pre-season with the Reds and under a new manager. I think that's key in all of this. Guys, do get your comments in as well. I'll bring up as many as possible. It's going to be interesting to see how everyone sees this, because I think it's going to be split. James Jones says, good riddance. If you don't want to play for the club, get gone. It's space for youth. I agree with the space for youth. I don't think we're going to see that in a short space of time. Whether or not he really takes to life in Spain and plays in La Liga and tears it up for Seville, may convince him to stay longer or push for another deal. But honestly, if he does play well now, then his price will obviously go up. Will Seville be able to afford it? See, this is where I look at it and I go, it's not the end of Martial in a United shirt. It really isn't. You look at everything that the deal is broken down here. I'm just reading through what Romano said, and it's not the end. It isn't, because there's no buyback option, which is key. So Seville haven't really rubber stamped this. They haven't said, look, Martial is our player and Martial is going to be the future of Seville. Yeah, you could probably say, look, the dust's playing it safe, which you would do, really. He's not played for a while. They don't know how he's going to take to La Liga. He's never played there before. It's a new league for him, new pressures. It's not top dogs of Spain. It is sort of, what would you say, sort of West Ham style sort of standard compared to the Premier League is what Sevilla are. We know they've got a good record in the Europa League. But other than that, really, it's not a massive football club. And it's interesting because I think Martial always wanted to be number one. I think he will be number one at Seville. I think that is ideally what he wants. And I think he's looking towards the World Cup as well. Because noticeably in the Nations League, I looked at it and Deschamps played him in 2 of the games before the knockout ones. But the big 2, the semi-final and the final, and he did play a good part in the 2 previous games to that, but the semi-final and the final, Deschamps didn't even consider him. He was nowhere near the team. I think if he wants to be in a World Cup and he sees himself as in that French squad, then he needs to be moving. And I think this is pushing his agenda right now as well. We discussed on Sunday why he would move. And I think for his own sake, this is why he's doing it, for his own career. What will happen? Well, I don't know. Past this summer, nobody knows. It is only till the summer, and I'll keep reiterating that. And everyone in the comments who's saying, yeah, it is a horrible cough and it's doing my head in. I'm even drinking the milk here down at night, people, just to get me through. But I've not got COVID. Keep testing negative. I am going to get to the doctors as soon as I can. That's the end of that. Don't worry. Don't worry. Lateral flows are coming back negative all the time. Super chat from Asset. He says he's been here 6 years and is out on loan. Game time before World Cup. People obviously gotta chill. I don't know what that means there, mate, but get the gist of it. He'd rather be playing for 250 than sit on the bench. I think it's game time. It is all about game time with Martial. I think overall, you look at it and you go, in Martial's light, and this is how I explained it the other day, I just don't think he's prepared to wait. I don't think he wants to take his bit part places in the team, like he was against West Ham on weekend. I don't think he's ready for that. I think he thinks more of himself, and that. I mean, if he thinks that, credit to him. Thinks he's better than what he is. He's just not been consistent enough in a United shirt for United fans to take to that sort of mindset and agree with him in how he sees himself. But to be honest, excuse me again, I think it's the right move for him. I said if he was going to go, he needs to go somewhere where he is going to be playing consistently. And like I said at the start, he's not gone. He's still here. He's still a United player. He's only on loan. Seville have got no buy option in this. So, I mean, it's one of them, innit? If he does well, then maybe a new manager coming in the summer will look at it and go, I could actually use Martial. Maybe if he comes back in a pre-season under a completely different regime, a few other players may be on the way out of the door. Martial gets more game time. Is he thinking like that? Honestly, then you could look at it. If he does do well for Seville, like I said a minute ago, does that take Seville out of the equation for buying him? Because his value is only going to go up. What will he be worth in the summer if he has a good season in La Liga? Will his life in Spain be that good for him and his family that he doesn't want to come back? Maybe he's testing himself out as well. Maybe he's looking at it and going, it's too good to turn down. I have to do this. I'm going to get the game time that I want. I'm going to play in the new league. And he's giving himself a challenge personally. So you've got to credit him for that. You have to give him some props for taking the challenge on. He could have just sat there on his big wage at United, but he wants to play. Under Ranić, I don't see him playing. I honestly don't see him starting games. And I think that's where he's looking at it. He has to be looking at it that way. Milk in. There you go. Alanga's in the team now. Greenwood's ahead of him. Sancho's probably ahead of him when he's fit with Ranić. Rashford will probably be ahead of him. And he's probably looking at it going, yeah, that's probably it for me. I got my cameo. He probably said goodbye to the United fans the best way he possibly could by having a good, important influence in the win that we got. And I think you could see it. If you look at the goal and the celebration, there was a lot of jubilation in that celebration with quite a few different players. And I noticed Cavani going over to Martial. I think it was Ricky who pointed out the actual the deep sort of look and praise that Ranić was giving him as well. So I think it must have been on Saturday. It was just like, thank you. You've come on, you've done your bit. It's the perfect way to bow out. And he's not completely gone. So really, you could see it benefits United as well as benefiting Martial. Or guys, are you in the boat where you're thinking, you know what? He was that other option. He could have done so much more than other players in that team. A lot of people compare him to Rashford all the time. I believe they're totally different players. They play a different style of football. They approach it differently. But one thing you can't deny is Martial actually was a different type of player in our front line. He's actually got something and approaches it differently to a Rashford or an Elanga. He's less direct. He holds the ball better, and you could probably say brings other players into play better and is easier to link with. So if we did come unstuck and we're out of options later on in the season when the chips were down, is it bad that Martial is gone now? Because there is that little option there, isn't it? But is it? He's out of the door for now. He's in a Seville shirt. This will be all tied up, signed, sealed, and delivered by tomorrow. And it's bye-bye Anthony Martial. He's like a complete split in the fan base. He always was. And I can see it just in the comments there alone. Exactly what I'm talking about. It is a case of I'm not bothered. We could have used him. He was underrated. He wasn't used right. He was disrespected. He's a sulker. He's a complete Marmite player for Manchester United. It's like Cameron says there. Hope he embarrasses us and kills it in Seville. I mean, there isn't many Man United players who have left and then gone on and done better things. There isn't many. There are some, don't get me wrong. And you know what? Everyone said I've always had an opinion and a low opinion of Martial. I haven't. I've just been honest and I've just said it as it is. I've always said I prefer him on the left, and that's where he did the damage at weekend. He's not a striker for me. He never will be, even though he had a good season as a striker. He just never was up for the fight when other strikers came in or he had competition. When he was number one, he was brilliant. He was the player we wanted. But when he had competition in the squad for his place, he never really shone. And I said this on Sunday. I said whenever the competition came in and we had brought players in for that front role, we sort of seen the other side of Martial. Whereas his best seasons, if you look at United, was when he was the number one. He was like, he starts every week. That's when you get the best out of Martial. But this is Manchester United. We're always going to be bringing players in. And when a player's better than what you are, and the players that did come in at the time were better than Martial, that's when we didn't see the Martial we wanted. We wanted him to fight for his place, and he never seemed to do that. And I think that's where a lot of the opinions of Martial on the negative side come from. And you know what? On times you look at it and you go, it's a bit harsh. And times you look at him and you look at his body language, you think, is he bothered? I think that was just his nature and the way he is. But ultimately, that is why he was so split within the fan base. His song will still be sung. I'm sure it will be sung. Well, actually, if it was this weekend and we were playing this weekend, I'm sure the fans would have been singing his name. But it's winter break, and this will probably be forgotten about by the time United play Middlesbrough. Is it that big a deal? Honestly, that's what you got to look at. And I see people saying it is. I see people saying we're not bothered. This is Tony Martial. This is his time at Manchester United. Was it 50 million down the drain, like the song said? He was never going to get that Ballon d'Or 50 million clause, was he? Let's be fair. Is this now the moment? Is this the pivotal moment where United start acting and they start getting rid of players that are the potential, the players that fans like, but never really went to that next level, which we need United players to be if we're going to compete? Martial's gone. He was in that category with a lot of United fans. Lingard could be the next one. Is this the start of that rebuild and exodus that all United fans were thinking needed? I mean, when you look at it, I said in 2 weeks this will be forgotten about. It'll be a nothing because hopefully Elanga will shine and we'll get more from him. But what it does show the rest of the players is, look, yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. Martial's been here a while now. If you're not doing what this manager says, then you're going to be sitting on the sidelines. And this is the first time a manager's been at this club, and I said this the other day as well, that he's actually acting like a Manchester United manager. Ralph is. And all of a sudden, players want out. They want out the door. And I think that's because they're being told home truths. And Martial's seen this, and he's acted on it. And like I said, it is his decision. He wants to play more game. He wants to play more football. I think he'll get more football. I see there, Andrew, wasted talent is loads of potential comments, which is what Martial always was, wasn't he? He was the potential kid. Great season, poor season. Great season, poor season. We never got a consistent 7 out of 10 from him. It was 8s and 9s, or it was 4s and 5s. Ricky will disagree. He thought it was an 8 every single week minimum. I didn't see it that way. A lot of players, a lot of fans didn't see it that way either. But what you have to look at is he could have done better. He didn't fulfill his potential. He set off like a steam train. You look at a player who sets off the way Martial did, then you look at it and you go, oh, wow, this really could be. And that's why the hype was there, because we've seen raw talent, but then we've seen the mentality kick in, my favourite word. You have to have the right mentality to play for Manchester United. You have to take the rough with the smooth. You have to accept that there's going to be competition for places. If you can't accept that, then you don't belong at the club. Is this the first one to go of many? I think that's the ultimate question. Like I said, is a loan deal the right deal for this? Guys, get your comments in as well. There's quite a few of us in the room right now. Yeah, I'm describing Rashford. Ricky's the only one who knows ball on this channel. Yeah, that's your opinion. Ricky's got his opinion. We don't always agree. But let's see. Ranić didn't think Martial was fit for this run-in. He's kept him out of the team. Didn't like what he's seen. Proof will be in the pudding. If we don't make top 4, then you could argue the point Martial might have done some good for us. If we go and make top 4 now without Martial, then you got to look at it the other way as well. And you have to be honest with yourself. That's it. He's not a team player, says Ryan. 50-50. He is the ultimate Marmite player. I think Pogba will be the next one we're having this conversation about. But this one actually has happened. I honestly am surprised. Personally, I did not see it coming around. I thought the decision to bring him on after the conversation he had after the Aston Villa game that Ranić made public, I thought that was positive movement. I thought we were going to see more of Martial going forward. I honestly did not see this happening personally to me, but there's going to be a few upset United fans, especially after what they saw at weekend. They thought, like I did, they turned the corner, but obviously not. The decision was clearly made, and Martial seen himself away from Manchester United. That's all there is to say on it. And he just doesn't think that he's going to get the game time under Ranić. And that's it. C'est la vie. Job is done. He's out of the door, and we'll see him again in June. Whether or not he'll come back with a new lease of life, time will tell. Okay, you seem to be coughing too much. Yeah, I am, and I'm okay. Do we need to bring anyone else in now? Not in that position, I don't think. I think we've got it covered in that area. I think we've got an abundance of talent there. Is this the shakedown that the transfer window needed for us? Do we now go out and look for a new midfielder now that we've shifted $250,000 a week in Tony's wages? Was it 250 grand a week that Tony was on? That's a big wage, that. And you add that all up on what we're going to save over the next few months. Surely you could add that into getting another player in. I don't know. I just don't think that United are in any position or any strong position to bring anyone else in now. But I'm looking at it. You're hopeful on the incomings. It is pure hope. I think we knew we may see Jesse Lingard leaving. This one, like I just said, came as a shock tonight, but maybe this is the start of it. We were all talking, thinking, when is it really going to get going? But I think this now is and could be the catalyst to everything going down, especially with no football going on. You know what? Players have got time to travel. Players have got time away. Everyone's been sent away for 5 days from United. So go speak to their agents. Go look at deals. They may have this on the table. They've got time to go out, do medicals. It probably sets up an interesting last week when you break it down, because the first day of the break, Martial's out the door. We're hearing Lingard might actually be going out tomorrow. So there's 2 of the sort of fringe players out the door already. So is it really now the shakedown? Are we going to get a crazy last week of the transfer window? I think in the out section we will. But incomings, guys, I'm going to upset you all. I still don't think we're going to get that midfielder that we need. But before we finish, guys, one word answers in the comment section. Is this a good deal or is it a bad deal? Say yes or no. Get your comments in now. Break it down because Martial's back in June. So look at that as well and move that into your comment as well. Is it good that he's going out and he's still a United player because there's no buyback, there's no buy option? And let's see which one comes out on top because we've got more than enough people in here. Good deal. Yes, 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 yes. First full section of comments there is yeses. Everyone's saying this is an absolute no issue. Wow, I didn't expect. Bad for us. Now we stuck with Rashford. Lay off Rashford, man. Come on. You know what I mean? He scored 2 goals last 2 games. He's not that bad, although he has been horrendous before. Maybe he'll turn it around. I don't know. I just don't know. But I just think we need to stop with the Rashford comparison to Martial. They're 2 different players. And I always said, and I'll stick by it, Marcus Rashford and Martial were better when they were in the same team, when they were together. That's when both of them were at their best for this football club. No coincidence, Martial being out of this team is Rashford's worst run at the club. I'll always pick up on that, and I always seen their camaraderie and their link-up play. But, guys, it does look like you're saying this is a good deal. I think a lot of people are happy with it. It's interesting. Will it come back to bite us on the ass? I don't know. We will see. Time will tell. And ultimately, that will be if we win a trophy and get top 4. Will it be just top 4? If we don't make top 4, will we look back on this as a mistake in not having that extra option and that that different type of forward like Martial when he came on against West Ham? He just shown something different and changed it a bit. Are we going to regret that? Are we going to regret that? Guys, cheers for watching. I know it's getting late. This has just broke and we're all over it. We're covering it. Is this the start of bigger things to come in this window? Guys, drop your comments in when the video goes up live. I know everyone can't watch it at the same time, so comment below when the video goes up on YouTube as well. Let me know what you think, good or bad. Martial out the door 6 months, but he is coming back in June under a new manager. Let's not forget that. But for now, guys, don't forget, subscribe to the United Stand. Thanks for tuning in for this short breaking news video. We will be back tomorrow. I think I'm back with Haber tomorrow talking about transfers as well. So there's a new combo for you as well, guys. So tune into that one as well. I'm going to go and drink some more milk, get some syrup, get some Cavania, get whatever it is that's going to get rid of this cough, which is doing my head in. But cheers for tuning in, everybody. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow.